Yes, bless up, God family.
Continue on Northwest 47th Avenue for 1 mile.
As you can see, I'm in the whip right now, but I just had so much coming to me on this drive. Experience. Man, we are all here to experience life to the fullest. And all of us are really a part of the greater force, that divine power that lives and dwells in everything. You know, the Most High. And we sometimes make decisions and, you know, we learn our lessons. We learn different things from these experiences. And I think it's easy to look at somebody else's experience and say, wow, I want that. And there's a part of us that always will be inspired by others and what they're doing. And then it's also important to invest in our experience. Kind of what I was talking about yesterday, when your inner voice, your inner child, what God is saying to you has to be the most influential thing. It really goes back to that experience. So, you know, for example, there's times where I think of other ideas, other lives I could be living, in a sense of maybe
turn left onto
seeing somebody who might be completely off the grid versus somebody who is, you know, living in a big old mansion in Hollywood Hills. And I guess for me personally, I grapple between these two ideas frequently in terms of, okay, well, what does my spirit really want? What am I really called? Where am I called to be? And it's been very interesting just navigating and measuring that, and then at the same time just being, right? Because sometimes we'll be so fixated and focused on, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, and this other person has all of these things that seem fancy and look good. And we definitely don't necessarily appreciate the things that the Most High has given us and putting in our lives, putting in our mind. And so I just wanted to share that idea, because it really was something I was thinking about in terms of, you know, what is the ideal life? And the ideal life is mine. The ideal life is yours. The ideal life is the life you're living right now. And you have so many opportunities in front of you to where you are literally moving the pieces on the board, right? In this game of life, you are literally writing your story. You are creating and manifesting every moment, whether it's something that you're creating that you don't like at the end result or you love. There are different things that we just have to really come back into self and say, wow, all right, everything that I see is a reflection of what is going on within internally. So when we talk about certain things like cellular health and detoxing and making sure that we are actually getting the nutrition we need and fasting, all of these ideas, I see how it has transformed me in my personal life, in my growing, in ways that are beyond the physical. Because the spiritual and mental health, once again, we can't understate how important and how imperative it is to really invest in our higher self, in that inner child. And when we continuously look to other entities, other sources, whether it be people, whether it be environments, plant medicine, then it robs us of the thing that has the most influence, which is your environment, you personally, the thing that you're creating for yourself. So I'm definitely just being able to, you know, learning how to be able to really tune into self in different ways. And I'm seeing that the movements and the breath work that I've been doing these past few days, this past week with the Kemetic Yoga course, how much inspiration it has had on me as well. And that's why when it comes to holistic health, it's not just about what you're feeding your body in terms of the things that you're eating and putting through your mouth. It's also it really plays into your lifestyle, right? We talk about diet, and in the beginning of diet is die. as opposed to really focusing on a live it lifestyle where we are living out this beautiful, beautiful, abundant life that we've been blessed with. We have a moment and an opportunity every day to love harder, or even love easier, right? Because really it's not a difficult thing. I think in my experience it's been more difficult to have turmoil and chaos with people than it is to be at peace. How much am I giving to others? How am I sharing what I have? How am I sharing the knowledge, the wisdom, the information? How am I also receiving to then be able to celebrate others and the things that they do? Because it's important that we love on each other and celebrate, and we don't get caught up in this egoic mind that really has us feeling like we're separate. We're all a part of this beautiful planet. We're all the cells of this planet's body. So in the way that we navigate life with each other, I just want to encourage everybody to remember that we are a family, and that's why I say God family. So that being said, I'm gonna focus on this road and focus on your goals, and more than likely you have goals that really ultimately are to serve others. So think about how you can hone in and ultimately serve others and this planet better, because in return you will be serving yourself. You'll be serving your inner child, your spirit, and the things that you truly want to do. Yes, God family, continuation. I wanted to focus on the road, especially just because when you are doing two things to its divine potential, it's not always possible to be super efficient. So I wanted to be an efficient driver and an efficient speaker, because I know that many are going to hear this message one day or one way or another, right? So I think of that driving like a car, like the body being a vehicle. And if you don't pay attention to things around you but also in you, then there's going to be a lot of disruption. So of course, when you are actually driving, when you're actually living this life, the environment around you, how other people may be moving, certain terrains, or how the rain may come into play when you have to put on your windshield wipers, or even, certain things internally, such as the transmission and the engine and, the brake pad, and making sure all of these things are working right. So just like we do with our cars, putting all of that intention and effort and even investment, we have to do that as well to our physical bodies. So you are driving this life, your spirit is driving your life, and you are constantly shaping your destiny. So you want to be as efficient as possible in the way that you are moving, the way that you are driving through this life. And yeah, your body is this one vehicle that you have in this moment. I know people believe in reincarnation and things like that, but the truth is, in my opinion, the essence is, right, that we are all a part of one. So it's not impossible for us to tap into other energies. But the energy that exists in terms of you being your name and your height, weight, gender, all of these constructs, this is going to be the only you, the only fingerprint that is embedded on this planet. So there's going to be many, many more people. And I like the notion that we do live on through our offspring. So I definitely don't want to entangle those ideas. The thing is, when we are tuned in and we're tapped in, then we can connect to many different realms and realities and find different synonymous relations and vibrations. For example, so there was one time I was at a museum, and something about the particularly the Muslim exhibits in terms of the Muslim countries, right? Something really resonated in my spirit, almost like I've seen it before, but I had never been to that side of the world. I never seen that exhibit, but it, there was some resonance. And of course, when I look into my ancestry based on what them say, right, I see that I definitely have, and even when I talk to my grandmother, like, we definitely have people from that side of the world in our lineage. So it's really cool to just find these connections, of course, and even more cool when you can find out how that relates to your vehicle, your current vehicle. So yes, God family. So I'm on the beach now. I'm taking all of this energy that Ra, Oshun, or the primordial waters known as Noon have to offer. Life is good though. Life is real sweet. So just a reminder to experience, live, laugh, be harmonious with the people around you, And if, maybe some of them singing out of tune, well, the best way to teach is to show. And that's why these fasts for me are important. Just making sure that I'm eating right, working out the body, working out the mind, elevating the spirit. It all goes hand in hand. So, all right, God family. Blessings. Stay rooted.